Hello everybody, Rose Thorne here. Tonight I'm reacting to Foodie Beauty's community post where she's talking about one of her more generous Beezers, Sjam. I know I'm late to the party and a lot of reaction channels have already covered this, but please forgive me for being late to the party. I had a lot of important things to do today, very important things, and it has taken me until now to get around to this. Uh, Considering some of the things that have happened today, I would also let those of you on my channel know that those of you coming to my channel for Foodie Beauty Reacts, I'm going to keep doing them, but due to work obligations, I won't be able to do continuous reacts day after day. What I'm going to have to do is do as many reacts as possible during the day and then be working at night. So if I miss anything, or if you're not seeing a whole lot of videos every day, that's why. Not because I'm being a lazy reactor. It's just that I have to balance out being on YouTube and being here and putting in time to my other job. So where to get started? So for those who are not aware, and I'm sure some of you are because the reaction channels have been all over this all day, Foodie Beauty has a Beezer by the name of Sjam. And Sjam has been extremely generous with Foodie Beauty. And last night, he decided to go in real life. He decided to take it upon himself to drive to see Foodie Beauty. And he lives somewhere in Ontario, and she lives in Ottawa, and he decided to take a drive to see Foodie Beauty. And he didn't let her know, or so they both say. You know, if you listen to both sides, there's conflicting parts to it. Sjam has messages saying, you knew I was coming, and then Chantal in her community post saying, no, I didn't know you were coming. So it's hard to know who to believe, who's being truthful. But Kiwi Farms has been all over Sjam because of the incident. And I did a lot of digging today, trying to find out who Sjam was. Who is this person who is so enthralled with Miss Foodie Beauty? I found out that he has a couple of channels on YouTube, that he has a strong affection for the bigger ladies, for the much bigger ladies, and he's very generous with the much bigger ladies, including Foodie Beauty. She's just one of more than a few. In regards to Foodie, he's just a little bit too attached to her, just a little bit, you know, because where he lives is nowhere close to Foodie. So he decided to get on his channel last night and live stream himself driving to her house. He did the live stream and then he deleted the live stream right after, and nobody managed to capture the live stream because there weren't that many people watching. But word has gotten around quickly around YouTube and also around Kiwi Farms. So I would like to show you a few things, if I might. Let me just show my screen. There's Foodie. So let's start with Sjam's side of the story. Let's bring up some screenshots. Sjam was actually in her chat today. He came around and then he was in her chat. And he said, "Are you kidding me, Chantal? You knew I was going to go past your place and wave and say, hey, thanks for making a community post and making an absolute fool of me. I came here to sightsee." So Sjam, just with that one comment, I have questions, sir. I do have questions. When you were driving to Foodie's place yesterday, it was not daytime, it was nighttime, so I've heard. So you were going to go sightseeing in the dark, and you were going to sightsee, and that's fine. But Foodie's house was included in the sightseeing. You were not going to go to any monuments or parks or anything. So her house is an attraction that you must see when you sightsee. Yeah, I find that interesting that you drove hours out of your way to go sightseeing in the place where Foodie was, and you made a point to try to go to her house. And you were sightseeing in the dark. Okay. Also, Sjam, if you were not going to see Foodie, if you were doing nothing wrong, why did you delete the stream off your channel? Why not leave it up? You know, that kind of points in the direction that you were doing something you weren't supposed to be doing. You know, if there was nothing nefarious about it, why delete the live stream? Why get rid of it? His next message says, now there's over 300 messages about me. Yeah, I have the messages from a week ago saying I was coming. So Sjam, he's not just someone that comes into Foodie's chat. He has her phone number. They talk on the phone. And I guess he has messages going back and forth between he and Foodie. So according to Sjam, she knew he was coming. Foodie's trying to say that she did not know. So it's hard to know who to believe. I find it hard to believe that somebody like Sjam is going to drive several hours to see somebody and not let them know that they were coming. Just out of the blue, surprise, I'm here. My way of thinking is he let her know. And something happened and she freaked out and decided not to see him. I don't know. Sjam Beezer says, I drove past Chantal. It was totally fine not to see me. I'm not blaming you. I am sorry. So according to Sjam, all he wanted to do was drive several hours to see Foodie and just go by her house and wave at her. How's she gonna see you if she's in the house? What are you gonna do? Just drive up to her house and wave and hope that she sees you out of a window? Make it make sense, Sjam. Make it make sense. Were you going to call her when you arrived and say, I'm here? And then while she stands at the front door, you wave to her? Because Foodie's apartment is a bit of a ways away from the parking lot. So even if you waved, how would she know it was you? Sjam says, I do apologize for that. I just wanted to wave hi. So you're going to drive at least a couple of hours just to wave hi at somebody? That sounds really weird. Sjam says, I mean, yeah, I had it in mind you are here. And sorry, I went too far to call and say I was here. Was just hoping to say, hey, that's all, but I'm done with it. Totally my fault. So which is it, Sjam? Did she know you were coming? Or did you just take it upon yourself to show up at her house unannounced and uninvited? Was it a case of you decided to go in real life because you've given this woman so much money that in your mind, because you gave her so much money, because you had her phone number, that they gave you the privilege to just show up whenever you want? Is that what was going on? Because that's what it sounds like. Sjam says, I'm sorry for that, Chantal. I truly am. And if you read my messages on Insta, I was really sorry. No, I appreciate you not mentioning me like I mentioned in the Insta messages. I did break the boundaries. I'm so sorry. I know you so well, but you don't. Sjam, you do not know Foodie. I don't care how many times you talk to her on the phone. I don't care how many times you talk to her on Instagram. You don't know Foodie. You've never hung out with Foodie. Obviously, you don't know her. You're someone on the internet that you talk to her through a monitor and you give her money. Maybe you feel like you know her because you have her phone number and you talk to her on Insta, but even with that, you still don't know her. And just showing up at somebody's house uninvited, it's a creeper move. It really, really is, bro. It really is. So here's another screenshot. This last message saying, you don't know me and I didn't think that through. No, you didn't. You didn't think it through. You did not think it through. You looked like a total creeper obsessed fan. So that was Sjam's messages. So let's go on to the community post for just a moment. Here's what Foodie said. She says, "Hi, okay, I feel like I need to put this out there. I know the type of community I have with you Beezers is a tight one. We are close, but please remember that I'm also just a YouTuber you watch. I appreciate the care and love from all of you so much. I do, but it has to stay at that level. I am open online, but in person I am much more private and don't appreciate just deciding to take a road trip to my house unannounced and expect me to just open up the villa to you. Pete and I have our struggles, but we are fine, and if we need extra help, we will reach out. We appreciate it. Thanks. Please do not come here. Thank you." So Foodie gets somebody just dropping randomly by her house. And you would think that Foodie would be angry about that. Very angry, very nasty. But she's polite in this community post. And I feel the reason why she's polite is because Sjam gives her a tremendous amount of money. And she doesn't want to mess with the money by going all the way off. That's why she's so polite. She wants to keep that door open for Sjam to send her more money. So she's being nice. You know, this post was meant for one person, not for everybody, because nobody up until now has done what Sjam has done. So this was really for him. She could have talked to him in private and said, "Hey, dude, what you did was wrong. Don't do it again." But she made a big community post about it. She didn't say Sjam's name, but everybody knew it was him that she was talking about. I mean, all the arrows point in that direction. And I would like to issue a correction, if I may. I thought that Sjam was Austin Beezer. I want to go on record of saying I'm sorry. I was wrong. I came to that conclusion because both men have similar personalities and the way they talk. I was wrong. I can say that openly. I apologize. I was wrong. They're two different people. Obviously, they're two different people. So there's that. So let's go on to the replies to the community post, and there are quite a few. Better Betty says, "Please everyone take note that it wasn't a hater who violated her boundaries, but one of her VIBs. In fact, it's the VIB who had gifted her the most super chats, Sjam." So right off the bat, everybody knows it's Sjam, because Sjam, he talks in kind of a, you know, I want to be your friend, you know, we're really close kind of way, you know, just thinking that he's closer to Foodie than what he actually is. Other replies to that. Cents and Dollars says, yeah, literally it is. He streamed himself driving there. So not only did he go see Foodie, but he streamed himself driving to her. And maybe perhaps just a theory, maybe Foodie and Sjam were supposed to meet in private. But because Sjam streamed himself driving to Foodie's house, talking about her, she freaked out. I don't know. That's just a theory. Maybe because he went too public with it, she decided not to go through with it. I can't say for sure. Michaela Magdalena says, and who she was extremely friendly with because he gave her so much money. It was obvious from the start that only an unhinged person would give her that much money and would also expect something in return. As always, everybody saw what a creep he is. She didn't, and the money he gave her made her even more blind to it. She invited him to do something like that. Blocking him would have been the right thing to do and sending all his money back. But we all know that she desperately needs the money. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. And sometimes when you deal with a generous person giving you stuff, oftentimes they're looking to get something back. Not always, but sometimes if somebody gets all the way wrapped around you and they start bombing you with gifts and money, they're doing it for a reason. They want something in return. They may not come right out and say at the moment what they want, but they might be doing it for a purpose to get close to you. And if they don't get what they want, they may become obsessive and dangerous and unhinged. You play with fire with people like that. Let's see what else people are saying. Uh, Michelina Magdalena says, if you make them think that they are your friends and take large amounts of money from them, instead of blocking people who are getting too close in your chat, these things will happen. Treat them like your audience and don't make them believe they are your friends by oversharing like crazy. Yeah, Foodie, she doesn't have a defined line in the sand between herself and her audience. She way overshares information about herself. And not only that, she says things to people to get people continuously concerned about her. Oh, I'm broke, or I'm sick, or I need to go to the doctor, and here's what's wrong with me, and Natter's going to hurt me. You are way oversharing, Foodie. And there might be people in your audience that think because you're oversharing, you're looking at them as a friend. And they may become obsessive. They may get a little weird and go sideways and want to drive to your house. And that's why it's a good idea not to overshare. That's why it's a good idea to have a private life and to keep that line in the sand so everybody knows where they are and where they should be. You know, Even if somebody overshares, though, that doesn't give them the right to show up at their house. That's way too invasive. But I'm saying if you create an environment where the lines can get blurry, it can get dangerous really, really fast. Seema says, this is what happens when you make these people think they are your friend, Chantal. You give them your personal number, take large super chats, and they think you owe them something. This is partially your fault. Your VIPs are hardly the most stable bunch. I could name some names of people that I'm like, are they okay? People like Sandy and Ange, Missy Moo, Austin Beezer, Sjam. I mean, they all kind of radiated a sense of being a little bit too obsessed with Chantal, maybe want to be on the level of thinking that they were friends with her or want to be friends with her. That's why it's important to have that line in the sand. And it's important to make your viewers feel like they matter to you, but not to tell people continuously, oh, you're my friends, you're my friends, you're my friends. Trust me, nobody is friends with Chantal. And by the way, you don't pay for real friends. You don't pay for real friendship. Okay? And to be a real friend to somebody, you are close to them and no money is involved. So there's that. Rad Plaid Pondu says, please remember, Chantal, this was not a hater or someone sent by a hater. This is someone from your community and someone you support, shout out, and promote. Not showing up at your house is ever okay, but just something to remember. Yeah, it wasn't a hater that did it. It wasn't a troll. It was somebody that he's just under the impression that he's close to Chantal, that he's more important than what he actually is, or he wants to be more important. Like I said, it can lead to dangerous behavior. Melania's Scarlet Rusi says, let Sjam in, Chantal. He just has to get into your house. He's taking your stalker approach. Yeah, anybody remember the live stream that Foodie did where she was talking about Natter? She kept saying something really, really creepy. She said, I just have to get into his house. That's what she said. I just have to get into his house. She kept saying that. And when I heard that, I'm like, why is it so important for you to get into his house? I mean, do you got a fascination with houses? Why do you have to get into his house? And then I stopped and I thought about it. Like, what is the psychology or the thinking behind that? And the only thing that made sense to me was by her getting into a person's house, maybe that was a small victory for her because she felt like if they let her in the house, that means that's one step closer to being close to that person. That if she got access to that person's house, if they let her in that way, they would let her in other ways too. That would mean that they would allow her to hang out with them. So she would just made it her mission to get into Natter's house and to get close to him. And we all know the history between those two morons. Key says, VIBs, remember this next time. She's crying about how broke she is. She's not your friend. She's just a YouTuber you watch. No, she's nobody's friend. True friendship you don't pay for. You don't pay a dime for true friendship or true love. If you're someone watching somebody on YouTube, you can watch them. You can choose to spend money on them or not, but don't get it twisted. Unless there's different circumstances, you know that person, or they let you get to know them. Under normal circumstances, you are not a friend to that person. But that's okay. You can get on YouTube and watch whoever you want and enjoy the entertainment, but you don't have to get extremely close to whoever the content creator is. You can just enjoy them for what it is and leave it alone. You don't have to be obsessive about, I got to get their phone number. I got to hang out with them. We got to go hang out someplace. You know, boundaries are always good. Candace says, maybe you shouldn't tell them that this is your therapy. Tell them that they are your friends and vent your every thought to your viewers if you don't want them to think that they are more than just a paycheck to you. Do you see this, VIBs and viewers? That is all anyone on this side of the screen is a paycheck. She doesn't want your thoughts unless they back up her, and she doesn't want your help. She's just a creator, and you are just a viewer and a number, nothing more. This is the truth and why she blocks. Because as she says, you can always be replaced, just like Sjam will be. Well, I don't think she's going to replace Sjam. I don't think she's done with Sjam because Sjam is giving her far too much money. She's going to hang on to that horse and let it ride for as long as it wants to run, you know, just to get a little bit more money out of Sjam. She needs it right now. She will hang on for dear life to that. But it's not like content creators want to be standoffish with people. It's just that if you're on YouTube with a channel, you cannot be best friends with everybody that watches you. You're just here to entertain people. You might connect with somebody here and there and talk to them off YouTube, but it's impossible to be a best friend to every single one of your viewers and talk to every one of your viewers and hang out with every one of your viewers. I mean, boundaries exist for a reason. You know, we all have to have our private lives and things going on, and you just can't latch on to everyone. But just because, you know, we can't be friends with everybody doesn't mean we don't care about people. But the difference between most channels and Chantal's channel is that she takes things entirely too far. And she's always playing with the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts and the minds of other people. And a lot of other people don't do that. Nina Palmieri says, this was a real life consequence of you doxing yourself and giving these internet strangers your home address repeatedly, since you always say everyone has it anyway. Yeah, you gave Sjam your phone number, Chantal, and he knew your address. I'm sure you told him that too. Even though he had that information, did he have a right to act on it? No, but he did. But you just don't get it. I mean, there are unhinged people in the world, and you just don't know where they're going to pop up. They could show up at your home. They could show up someplace you go. I mean, you've been lucky, Chantal, that you haven't dealt with anything like this before. Truly, you've been lucky. Very, very lucky. And you're lucky that it did not go badly like it could have. Zevi says, this is what happens when you mistake your audience as your friends and then invite people like Lewis or Marissa or Sandy and Ange into your real life. You talk about going to visit certain Beezers, etc. People who are already lonely and emotionally vulnerable get the wrong impression. I've said it for a long time. You'd be better off going back to recording videos. The constant live streaming has created a really toxic, socially parasitic relationship with your audience. I agree with all that, Zevi. I really do. Some people may come to Chantal's chat and they're lonely. They just want somewhere to belong. They want someone to talk to. And maybe they feel like in certain respects they can relate to Chantal in some way. And they start to think that they're part of something or that she really cares about him and that everything can go sideways from there. So I agree, she needs to do some recorded videos and create some space. Kathy L says, you remember that time when you were hanging outside Dee Dee's place at 4 a.m. singing that Melissa Etheridge song, or randomly going to the trap house and get your CPAP unannounced? It's kind of the same kind of scenario. Looks like karma paid you a visit. Yeah, Chantal's guilty of stalker-like behavior, and we've seen it on live stream. I remember that live stream she did where she drove over to Natter's house and she parked the car and she peered in the windows and she tried the doorknob. I mean, creepy, creepy. She's done some stalkerish things herself, you know, blowing up Natter's phone because she wants his attention. Maybe Chantal, maybe you're getting it that somebody invading your privacy is something you don't want, but it's something that other people want too. So if you don't like it done to you, maybe not do it to other people. You know, if you don't like that feeling of being uncomfortable, don't give it to others. Raquel says, you gave me your address. He sends you thousands in super chats. You talk to him off stream privately. You have made this person feel as though they are close enough to show up and you wouldn't care. What do you think was going to happen? Yeah, she blurred the lines. She blurred them big time. I'm not saying what he did was right. He shouldn't have done it regardless. But she didn't help the situation by keeping the line where it should have been and saying, hey, I'm over here. You stay over there. Don't come over here. And so he felt too comfortable to do what he did. Let's see. Taco Bell says, I normally would feel a lot of shame towards someone approaching you in real life. However, did they offer to take the huge piles of junk and trash out? If so, you should have accepted their help. It gets tiresome seeing the piles of trash get bigger and bigger, and your home is a complete chaos, and you and Peach refuse to take the trash to the dumpster. Offering to get your trash out and clean is the only reason I could think of to substantiate this behavior, since it's apparent you and Peach just won't do it. You know, Chantal makes enough money that if she wanted to be lazy, she could do it right. She could be lazy. She makes 10 grand a month. She could be lazy in a smart way and get other people to do the things that she doesn't want to do. She doesn't want to clean. She could hire maids. She doesn't want to take out the boxes. She can hire people to take them out for her. She could hire someone to do the laundry. She could hire someone to cook for her. I mean, people are always looking for work and they want to make money. She could spend a little bit of money and have people do the things she doesn't want to do, including take the cats to the groomers and the vets. She could get a mobile vet, a mobile groomer. She could do lazy right. But she just keeps procrastinating and she doesn't have to. Let's see. Oops, I've skipped ahead. Sorry. Tommy Jarvis says, this reminds me of when that woman came up to you at Wendy's when you were eating in your car and just started a conversation with you. She showed up there because you told your audience you were going to Wendy's. Ah, you're talking about Nadia. I remember Nadia. Nadia was all up in Chantal's chat, just staring in the camera and acting weird. And even after her appearance on camera with Chantal and acting the fool, she made a point to go in everybody's comment section and say, you're talking about me. Yeah, I am talking about you. You're a weirdo. You approached Chantal like she was trying to eat. What do you think was going to happen? But Nadia was just haunting everybody's comment sections and live chats and just would not go away until she did go away. You know, and that was a weird interaction too. What is it about weird people that approach Chantal? Like they're all weirdos. You know, they all just seem strange and obsessive. I don't get that. Like people obsessed with Chantal. I don't understand that. Why are they obsessed? Quartz says, Chantal, this is the internet. You don't know who's watching you, so it's you that needs to be careful with what you put out there. Some people are very impressionable, and some people are just downright nuts. If you don't want people worrying about you, then maybe stop using YouTube as your own personal diary and therapy sessions and actually get some professional help. Yes to all of that, Quartz. Yes to all of that. There's too much oversharing. There's too much of that feeling of nothing is off limits. There's no privacy here. And people get sucked in and they think, oh, because she's telling us so much, she cares about us so much. No, she doesn't care about you. She doesn't care at all. She's not saying those personal things because she thinks of you as friends. She's saying those things because she looks at it at everything as content. And she's looking to manipulate people wherever she can, bring up whatever topic she can. It's not about, oh, I trust all of you and you're my friends and I want to tell you everything. This is YouTube. You shouldn't be sharing every single little minute detail of yourself. You got to keep part of yourself private for you. It helps to remain, create a balance. You can't be telling everybody every doggone thing. Kenneth Kobielowski says, now you know how Natter felt when he tried to hide from you when you showed up unannounced and refused to leave. What comes around comes around. Yep. See what happens, Foodie? You stalk other people. How does it feel to have some weirdo showed up at your house and unannounced? Did it make you uncomfortable? Did it make you uneasy? Well, that's how you make other people feel when you act like that. Karma says Chantal has told her VIBs countless times that they are more than just strangers on the internet. She feels like they are her friends. Sjam sending her large sums of money should have tipped her off that he isn't right in the head, but not Chantal. All she's seen is dollar signs and attention. She attracts creeps just like Karate Joe. Chantal has talked to some of these people offline and given out her personal information, including her address. Not only is she putting her safety at risk, she's also putting James at risk too. I agree with that. As I said before, this is creepy and Sjam stepped over the line. But Chantal needs to own up and take responsibility to the part she played in this too. I don't see her life as being a safe one. I agree. She's too desperate for attention. I also agree with that. She gives out her address to strangers and now they're showing up at her door. She meets strange men in parking lots and seedy motels, and we all remember Nadia that tracked her down in the RV parking lot. She is a recipe for a big disaster, and I don't see anything good coming from this. So you know what, Carmen, you did bring up a very good point. By Chantal being too public with herself and giving out her personal info, it's not just herself that's at risk, it's also Pete's and the cats. I mean, who's to say some weirdo might not break into her house and do something to her or Pete's or the cats? I mean, it's good to have privacy for that reason, to protect yourself and anyone that's close to you or lives with you. I mean, we don't know. There might be some freak that might want to break into her house in the middle of the night. That person might hurt either one of the people in the house or the pets. It's just stupid to go that far and to do that much. Callie's lady says, like attracts like. As much as you confide and accept money from whoever, don't go crying when someone gets the lines blurred. You have not any boundaries of your own. Boo-hoo. Love that for you. Yeah, well, there's an old saying, F around and find out. Well, she keeps effing around, she's going to find out. Workshop says, the uninvited guest. After all the money and support I give you, you love me, Chinny. You just won't admit it. So Sjam said that after all the money and support I give you. Doesn't that sound familiar? Isn't that the same thing that Foodie says about Natter? Look at everything I did for him. See what happens when you're someone and you got a person who's got a bunch of money and they start doing things for people. Sometimes it's not true generosity. They're giving the money for a reason. They want something back. They may or may not tell you what they want, but eventually it comes back around that they are after something. And if they don't get it, everything might go sideways. It might get real, real, real ugly. Real ugly. No Names Here says, LOL. So SJM thought that because you sent him so much money, you owed him something. The same crap you do with Natter, thinking you own him because you gave him money. I just said that. I just said that. Miss Power says, I'm not going to say you deserve to have someone invade your space and make you feel unsafe, but you have to understand you fostered this unhealthy, creepy relationship. Some of the biggest boundaries you need to set are with your VIBs. You have to stop telling them that you're friends with them or that you love them. Stop accepting large sums of money because this is what happens. Unstable people feel entitled to you. True. True. Beatrix Kiddo says, this is what happens when you use your fans like your personal ATMs. Your chickens are all coming home to roost. Yeah, I think with the whole SGM situation, I think she's playing with fire. You know, she's toying with him. I don't know what she's telling him on the phone. I don't know what she's saying to SGM, but he keeps giving her money and he is too attached to her. He honestly thinks that they're close, and you're not, SGM. You're not close to Chantal. You're not her friend. If you were her friend, you wouldn't have to give her so much money to talk to you. Why is it that common sense is not so common? Why is it that some people just don't get, if you're friends with somebody, you don't pay your friends? And if you want love, you don't pay for love. Why does that escape some people? I just don't get it. Dirty Lettuce says, friends when they throw money at you online, but not friends in real life when they show up. How are you any different than Natter? Well, her and Natter are exactly the same. They aren't different. They're exactly the same. Okay says, I saw that SJM said he was taking a road trip to Foodie Beauty, and I watched a bit, and he seemed like he was drunk driving. It was insane. Oh, really? So yeah, people are saying he took down the video. Everybody asking about the channel name. I did some digging. I know what SJM's channel is, at least one of them. He's got a couple. I'm not going to dox him. I'm not going to say what it is, but he is on YouTube. He's got a couple of channels. You know, SJM, Kiwi knows who you are. And they went deep on you. Let's put it that way. And I found a whole bunch of stuff out about you. And it didn't take me long to find it either. Let's see. Connie's crusty chart thing says, how does it feel knowing other people are thinking, if only I could get into her house? That would unsettle me, but Chantal doesn't care. Hattrick H1 says, wow, dumping all of your problems on your audience as if they're your friends resulted in an unhinged one of those friends showing up at your house trying to help. Who could have possibly seen that coming? Like I said, I'm surprised it's not happened until now. I mean, we all knew it was bound to happen, but it's amazing it hasn't happened until now because their information has been out there for the longest. West Coast Lass says, doggone it, Chantal, let him in. We need a new arc. I agree. We do need a new arc, but I do not approve of anyone stalking anybody. That's not healthy. We don't need to encourage stalking of anyone because that is just creepy. We need a new arc, but I will not encourage stalking or creeping around of any kind. The going in real life thing, I do not approve of. Let's see. Everybody's saying it was SJam. Yes, it was SJam. Hey, it's D says Kiwi Farms has all the dirt on Sjam. Evidently, he's a huge fan of obese women on YouTube and has been doing this sort of gifting, stalking them for years. You're not special to him, Chantal. In fact, you're not special to anyone. Yeah, Sjam has been known to be very generous with the bigger ladies, but Chantal's not the only one. Let's see. So that's it for the comments. And I wanted to play this part of her live that she did today where she talks about the visit or the near visit. So let's start from here.
How I guess things affect you guys, but hi. What loving myself is going to entail. Let's get this show on the road. Hey, Gandhi. Penny May, Angel Eyes. I'm finally here, guys. You can come out now. Come out wherever you are. I was just live like not long ago, actually.
She's been live all day.
This is like, oh.
Nobody cares about your hair.
Alyssa. Fupa.
Get on with it, Chantal.
Rose, open the door. Down Under, Norma Jean, Kaylee, Gemini, Faith, Beezer. I need a coffee.
Start talking, woman. We're waiting.
Well, yeah, a little. Like, I don't know. I feel bad, though, in a way. I hope he's safe and I hope he's okay. And I feel bad. It's not that, I just, hi, Karen. I don't even answer the door when, like, people I know come here. So, I mean, I don't know if I don't think he came to my house, but he came to Ottawa or said he was coming to Ottawa. So I don't know. I feel like people just want to help me and I really appreciate that. And it makes me realize, like, my responsibility in this, like, I don't know. I don't realize how, I guess, things affect you guys. But I mean, how can I worry how things affect every single person who watches me? Hi, Tracy. Like, I don't feel like I'm responsible for the actions of other people. It's not my responsibility. I'm sorry. I had to learn that my actions, my last things are all my responsibility. I've learned that my safety is my own responsibility. I need to be more careful about what I show online, my surroundings, everything. Um, I'm setting up my alarm system soon. Actually, I am still planning to. We're not gonna be at the villa like long term. I do want to move somewhere where nobody knows where we are as much as possible, if possible.
You know what, Chantal? Let me just stop you right there. You're saying you are not responsible for other people. You're mostly right. You're not responsible for other people. But when you get on your YouTube channel and you overshare, you tell everybody every single detail about your life. And on top of that, you say very concerning, triggering things relating to you. You're putting off the impression that you're in some sort of a crisis. Anybody in your chat that's halfway human, that has half a heart, if they've been watching you for a long time and they've invested a lot of time listening to you, talking to you, if they're even halfway human, they're going to care a little bit. If it's not a person in your chat who's a troll or a feeder and all they care about is getting you bigger and watching you become housebound from gaining so much weight, if they're a halfway decent person and you're always coming on camera with some sort of crisis, oh, I'm sick, oh, I don't feel good, I got to go to the hospital, I'm broke, you're always making everybody worried. And there might be people in the chat that get too worried, people that are too wrapped around you and they feel like they got to do something. It may not be appropriate to do something, but that's how they're going to feel. Should anybody go in real life and show up at somebody's house, regardless of what that person says? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Sjam should not have driven in the middle of the night to come see you. He shouldn't have done that. That was inappropriate, very inappropriate, very pretentious. You know, he thought he was entitled to do so. And now he's getting the backlash for his actions. He's getting all the way called out. People are calling him a creep. He's been doxxed all the way on Kiwi Farms. People are saying, dude, you're obsessed. There's something wrong with you. He's getting some backlash for what he did. And it's going to happen for quite a while. People are not going to look at him the same way as they did. They had a problem with him before because he gave you all kinds of money. But now they're going to say, not only is this person giving Foodie money, but he's a creeper. He's going to her house, not and wanting some contact. Inappropriate. Inappropriate. But Foodie, if you want to keep yourself and Pete and the cat safe, you've got to stop this nonsense of oversharing and treating YouTube like a diary. It is not a diary. There's nothing private here. It's very, very public. And when you put your stuff on YouTube, you don't know who's watching. You don't know their mental state. You don't know if they're going to become obsessed with you or not. If they're looking at you in a normal way, or they just, maybe they're lonely, maybe they're depressed and they're looking for someone to talk to and they talk to you, and that might lead to obsession. You don't know who is watching your content and what they can do. And you don't live alone. You live with another person and your pets. For the sake of the safety of all of you, you need to shut up about a lot of things you talk about and stop working so hard and triggering people and bringing up toxic topics and getting everybody concerned. You need to cut it out.
Baby J's having a pee in the litter. Hi, Lynn. You know, I mean, I don't know. I just, yeah. So I don't have any, like, I don't hate this person for that. Whatever. I mean, I understand, like, you probably just wanted to help me, but I just can't have people over at my house. Like, our relationship has to stay YouTuber, Beezer, for now until, like, you know what I mean? Like,
For now?
Yeah. I love you guys. And in some way, yes, we do have some kind of, like, friendship, but it's not.
Really now? Some kind of friendship? Then why is he paying you? As I said, you don't pay for friendship. You don't pay for friendship. There's no some kind of friendship. It's him paying you money because you're a bigger lady and that's what he likes. That's his thing. If you guys are really friends, you'd be hanging out outside of YouTube. He came to your house and you wanted nothing to do with him. So you're not friends.
In, like, personal kind of situation, basically. And I'm going to be making some signs for my door so that people don't just come to my door and knock at my door. So, like, people send shit to my house. The people who show up at my door will see that. Do not knock. Do not bug me. It was probably, like, I didn't order anything, basically. Leave me alone. So that's what I'm going to do in the meantime.
I hate to break it to you, Chantal, but if you've got an obsessed, unhinged person, do you think a sign is going to stop them? Do you think they're going to pay attention to a sign? No. If they're really obsessed, a sign is not going to do anything for their obsession.
Because, like,
Oh, Sam was sick this morning. He was a little sick. Yes, well, he was just had to throw up, that's all. Now he's okay.
What?
Aww. Okay now?
Before he gets sick, he always goes, oh.
Did he have a hairball? Cats do get hairballs.
Did you do that? That was what you sounded like, big boy.
Come here. We're such children, I swear. I don't know if he came to my house. I don't think he actually came to my house. I don't know. But I just don't come to Ottawa unannounced. Like, don't make road trips counting on me. Like, don't tell me about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, It's like I drove 8 hours to come see you. Like, yeah, but I didn't. I consent.
Okay, stop right there. So, how would she know that he drove 8 hours? How would she know that? I think that she knew he was coming. I mean, he has her phone number. Why wouldn't he call her and let her know? I mean, you guys saw the messages right here. You knew I was going to go past your place and wave and say, hey, thanks for making it a community post. So you knew I was going to go past your place. He had her phone number. I'm sure he called. I'm sure he wanted her to be there if he drove all that way to see her. I mean, nobody drives 8 hours unless A, they know where they're going, or B, whatever they're hoping to accomplish, they can accomplish. So SJM, you drove 8 hours to Foodie's place just to sit in your car and wave hi? That don't even sound right, bro.
Consent to that. So that's not my problem. That's what he sounded like every time he throws up anyway.
And then he barfed and he came on the floor.
He was in the living room, he went, oh, and then he came in the floor.
That's a good boy. And he was sick. I said, okay, be sick. It's okay. You're my little boy. You can be sick. You can be sick. Oh, yes, you can be sick.
And then I gave him some fresh water.
Hey, big boy.
Here.
You can be sick. If you want.
Travel mug, eh? It's the swell. I think it's, oh, hey? Yeah.
So is she done talking about SJam? Let me see.
Pukey Sam, Maggie. Oh no, I have all my. And Sam is crazy. There's no relationship with you. Kind of like you and Natters.
Oops.
Yeah, but I'm not leading SJM on. I'm not telling him I love him behind the scenes. I'm not. I mean, I do have love for you guys, but not romantic love. Not.
How do we know that? How do they know? We know that they don't get on the phone. We don't know what Foodie is saying to SJM and what SJM is saying to Foodie. If he's giving her thousands of dollars a month, there must be a reason why, beyond the fact that she is a bigger lady and that's his interest. I'm not saying that she did say to SJM that she loved him, but I'm sure she was exceptionally nice to SJM.
I don't even know if he has romantic love for me. I mean, he's never hit on me. He's never hit on me. I think he just likes, he cares about me as a person, I think. And obviously I hope he's okay. I mean, like, don't just go on a road trip for 8 hours and then get mad if I don't. Ariel G, member for 2 months. It's been a long 2 months. Read these, Ariel. Oh yeah, Alyssa. No, that's not. Talk to your pay pigs. I don't need a pay pig. I mean, like I said, I appreciate creators do need to get paid. I appreciate any super chats. If you want to support me, I'm not asking you to, but just know that. I guess I just realized I guess it just makes.
You know what? I'm just gonna say it. She's like, I don't want pay pigs. You know? Well, that's what your people are. The people that come into your chat. And I don't mean to be rude, but they are pay pigs. And sorry, that's Skype going off right now, and I'm not going to answer it. But anybody going into her chat, they're paying the $5 or you're throwing her super chats. What are you getting for your money? You're not getting very much at all. She comes in front of the camera, she turns it on, and she eats, and that's basically it. You're giving her money for nothing. You know, you're not getting anything in return. That's a pay pig. Whether you're paying $5 or thousands of dollars like SJam, you are essentially her pay pigs over there. She expects money for nothing, and you're giving it to her.
Makes me realize I need to put that disclaimer out. Like, just wanted to get a whiff of that fupa up close. Yeah, changed my mind. Your $5 a month pay pigs?
Yep.
I don't feel like eating right now. I don't know what I feel like eating. Why am I not losing weight?
I can tell you why. I can tell you exactly why, ma'am. Because you're doing the energetic party favors, let's call them that, of the powdery variety. You're doing the energetic party favors to give you energy all day. And then when you want to come back down, you do the edible party favors so that you can come back down. And then once you take the edibles, you go to town on food and you don't stop eating. You binge eat and you'll consume a lot of calories. And then as soon as you're done, you go to bed. And anybody who's ever tried to lose weight will tell you that the worst time to eat is right before bed because you're not working off the calories you just consumed. So if you're doing party favors of the powdery variety to get away from your cravings for food, all you're doing is putting that monster in a cage for a short period of time. But once you do the edibles, it comes back out and says, hi, let's do this. Let's go to town on the food. We haven't eaten all day. I, I want everything in the fridge. I want everything in the pantry. I want everything sitting on the counter. Let's just get a little bit of everything. That's where you're messing up. You're trying to use the party favors to short circuit your thoughts of food, but it only does it for short spurts of time. You want to get your cravings under control. You have to address what's going on in your head. You got to address your triggers. You got to deal with the mental mess that's causing that problem. You can't solve it by running away from it. Trust me, I know.
I look like I'm losing weight. Do I? I feel like
No,
my shoulders are more narrow.
you're using
Bottom
filters.
line is this basically Chantel's business. She doesn't want work appearing in her real life. Yeah, like my house, I like not having too many people in it on purpose. Like that's why inviting you to my house is a big deal for me because my house, even though it's messy, that's a reflection of my mental health. But it's my environment, it's my sanctuary. It's where I go to escape from people. It's where I escape from everybody, you know? So it's like I don't feel I think just having random people in it would feel like kind of
In a nutshell, Chantal wants her fantasy world. She wants her bubble, and she doesn't want real life entering that bubble. She is a taker. She's not a giver. She's going to take from people, but she's not going to give anything back. And I'm not saying as a YouTuber that she owes friendship to anyone that she talks to. I'm just saying she's a taker variety, a person that she wants you to give her something, but she doesn't want to be obligated to give anything back in return.
like a violation. So I was watching This Is Monsters. That's a really good channel. You guys should watch it. They were talking about the Vegas shooting guy. I forget his name anyway. This was really fucking hot.
Okay, so that's enough. She talked about the Sjam thing. That's the part I wanted to cover. So now you guys have Chantal's thoughts about Sjam. There's a going back and forth about, did she expect him to show up? Was she expecting him? But because he live streamed himself going to see Foodie, she freaked out and decided not to do it. Or didn't she know? Either way, Sjam should not have driven 8 hours to see Foodie. You know, going in real life, cow tipping. You were cow tipping Sjam. Shame on you. That's creepy. Crossing boundaries is never good. Never. You know, Sjam, you are a pay pig to Chantal. You always will be a pay pig. And that's the way she likes it. She doesn't want to hang out with you. You know, she's not your friend, and she never will be. So just be happy being a gentleman that you give financial support to the bigger ladies, and just be happy with that and don't expect anything more because you won't get anything more. So that's it for this React video. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Thank you very much and have a great night. Bye-bye.